Hello folks, World Cup 2014, and we reached the final. Germany against Argentina. If this match had taken place 30 years ago, we would expect the Germans to play with perfect strategy and determination, Argentina's with the perfect technique, while 30 years later things have been reinvented and they change completely. Now are the Germans the ones that have a perfect technique, they have the moves, they know how to play soccer, and the Argentinians come with determination and perfect strategy for this match. And where the Argentinians had almost scored a goal in the very beginning, 19 minutes of the match, when Toni Kroos kind of had the ball backwards, showing that he was not prepared mentally for this match, giving a great opportunity for Higuain, who had the goal right in front of him and kind of got afraid of Neuer, took the shot out, missing a great opportunity for the Argentinians. Would have another opportunity once again with Higuain. This time he scored a goal, but he was found in offside, and he was in clear offside in that time. And then right after that, Messi had another chance for the Argentinians, dribbling a couple of the Germans and hitting the ball out. Minute 47, almost the Germans scored. They had more ball possession, but did not play better than the Argentinians through the first 45 minutes. With Howard hit the post, and the ball came back for Miller, who found himself in offside. First half, I would say Argentinians played better than the Germans, who had more ball possession but could not create, could not break through Mascherano defensive midfield. Came back for the second half, and the Germans started playing better. They changed. They took Lavenzi and put Aguero, and the Argentinians kind of decay a little bit. Aguero had a real bad World Cup through the whole entire match. It's the same thing for Higuain, and the Germans started playing better. Skurli always attacking from both sides, creating a lot of plays, always dribbling Zabaleta and dribbling Rojo from both sides, creating a lot of plays for the Germans. Then Palacio got in the side of Higuain for the Argentinians in the 32nd minute of the second half, and Gago, sort of to stop the Germans from attack, got in the field, and Götze replaced Klose. Klose did not have a good match. He's now the leading striker ever with 16 goals past Ronaldo, but he didn't have a good match this time. And Marc Götze, who's a very skillful player, stepped on the side for the Germans. The match finished the first 90 minutes. We went to the overtime, the extra time, and the Argentinians showed that they were very, very tired. They were very resigned to this whole World Cup, but they showed that they were exhausted, had a very tough battle against Holland, and ended up after the extra time and the penalty. And then the Germans had a sort of like a practice game against Brazil, where they destroyed Brazil in that game that kind of looked very, very much fixed. 7-1 score against Brazil. And then they had a great opportunity, minute 7, of Palacio, where it's just him and the goal. He could easily trap the ball, kind of mistrapped, and then try to score a beautiful goal, hitting the ball over Neuer. Kind of a panic, kind of a choke, and missed a great opportunity for the Argentinians. Came back for the second half of the overtime, and then Skurli once again had a perfect cross from the left side, and then the play gets trapped and hit the ball. Kind of reminded of Pelé with a half volley play. Fantastic goal for the Germans. Minute 7, the Argentinians did not create anything. They were not capable. They were exhausted. They were dead, and finally, kind of a surrender to the Germans. So he still had a free kick in the very end of the match. It was the final chance for Lionel Messi, but he took a horrible shot, and that was the end of the World Cup. The victory of the Germans, and now have 4 World Cups, just one behind Brazil. They're tied now with Italy as the second national team with most World Cups. Great cup, it was a phenomenal cup. Kind of had a little scar in the end of that match between Brazil and Germany. That kind of looked very bizarre, very odd. If you think about the results of Germany play a good soccer. They're not all of that if you consider the whole World Cup. They had an easy match against Portugal with Pepe, got the red card and made things very easy for him, and a very naive move from the Portuguese player. Then they tied Ghana. They showed that the Germans, were vulnerable on the defensive side. Then they played against the United States, had a battle with the Americans, beating them by 1-0. Then tied Algeria, a match that they could have lost in the 90 minutes. They showed they were very vulnerable. Soleimani, beat the German defense many times. Feghouli taught the German midfielders a lesson in the match. So the Germans were not that amazing team. They're a good team, the best team in the World Cup, but they're not outstanding. They had a match against France, beat the French 1-0. The French show a lack interest to that match, kind of showing that sort of, I even make a metaphor comparing the Germans' blitzkrieg with the Maginot line, or the French really didn't show that they were very interested in the match, and then they played Brazil. And that match, once again, was very strange. And now the final, Argentina, they played a tough contender. Argentina really, really tough throughout the whole match. They had a very mediocre team. They did not have a lot of talent in the team. They depend solely on this great left foot of Lionel Messi. That once again, this guy is a great player. He's no Pelé, he's no Maradona, he's no Cruyff. There are lots of players in soccer history that are far better than him. I would say even in this World Cup, we had players that were better than him. He got the trophy for the best soccer player of the world, but you know, everybody that understands about the game thinks it was an unfair call. We had players like Robben who played far better than Messi. We had players like James Rodriguez who played far better than Lionel Messi, but he's got the marketing behind him, and he did play. He did show that he's a great player, and he could carry on his back a very mediocre team that was very well trained and had a lot of determination. You know, gotta say Argentina's congratulations for them reaching the impossible mission of getting to the second place almost. And they could have won the cup, you know, if Palacio would not miss that goal, if Higuain would have not missed the goal, the history could have been written in a different way. But that's the end of the story, the end of the World Cup. We'll come back to talk about who we think were the best players in this World Cup, give the 11, choose 11 players for each position, and also to talk about our final considerations. And I'll see you next time!